Challenges Philadelphia. Once assistant coaches on the same Green Bay staff, John Gruden and Andy Reid now run the Raiders and the Eagles. They match wits next. Everyone, where it is indeed a chilly day, temperature in the low 50s. It is expected to go even lower as this game progresses. The visiting Oakland Raiders are brought in by John Gruden, the youngest head coach in the National Football League. On the other side of the field, his good friend and former colleague with the Green Bay Packers, Andy Reid, in his third year as the head man of the Philadelphia Eagles. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms and Armin Katayan. The Eagles have won the toss and they've elected to receive. The Eagles leaders in the NFC East, the Raiders on top of the AFC West. Sebastian Janikowski kicks it away and we are underway. From a yard deep in the end zone, it's Brian Mitchell. To the 20, to the 25, and forward to about the 27-yard line. Donovan McNabb, Monday night hero. The touchdown pass in the last 2 minutes to beat the New York Giants. You see his numbers on the night.
Greg, you talk about that Monday night game against the Giants. They had lost 9 in a row. McNabb pulls the game out for the Eagles late. We talked to Andy Reid on Friday. He says, I'm glad it's a short week. My players couldn't sit back and rejoice in that victory. We got right back to work. He thinks his team is ready to play today.
Terrell Buckhalter starting behind McNabb, who will throw on first down. Coming this way, incomplete, intended for his tight end, Chad Lewis.
Look at the Eagle offensive line. Andy Reid likes this team or this unit because it's tough and nasty. Good traits for an offensive line.
In the backfield with McNabb, Martin, Staley, although Buckhalter will see a great deal of action. Thrash and Pinkston, the wide receivers, and Chad Lewis is the tight end.
Now the Raiders on defense, there's Rod Dowhower, the offensive coordinator. The Raiders on defense say they're going to be more aggressive, not going to sit back like they've done some in the past. Go after the quarterback.
McNabb chased. The throw is incomplete. It's intended for Buckhalter, the running back, and it'll be 3rd and 10. The Raider defense, Upshaw, Coleman, Jackson, and Bryant. Darrell Russell will see playing time.
Look at the Raider linebackers, Thomas, Beekert, and Alexander. They will have to have a good game keeping McNabb in the pocket. 9 Pro Bowls between those cornerbacks. Woodson and Allen. Dorsett and Marquez Pope are the safeties, and Chuck Bresnahan is the man who runs the defense for the Oakland Raiders. Eagles having some problems. Do not have the right people in the game. Finally, Jamie Reeder comes in the game late.
And the play clock is down to 4, to 3, to 2, to 1. And they didn't get the play off. We'll back them up and we'll do this again. Our referee today is Tom White.
Delay game. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
In that situation, the quarterback probably should call a timeout. Remember, in the first half, use your timeouts whenever you need them. In the second half, save them for the final minutes if you can, because they can determine the outcome of the game.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles were just 2 of 11 on 3rd down on Monday night against the New York Giants. They're looking at a 3rd and 15 on their first possession. McNabb shakes one tackler, shakes a second, and finally falls forward, but that'll go down as a sack for the Oakland Raiders. And we welcome those of you who watched the Cincinnati Bengals knock off Detroit 31-27. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan here at the Vet in Philadelphia, where the Eagles took the opening kickoff, failed to move it, and are about to kick it away.
You know what I want to see today as I watch this game? Just a very general outlook. Can any wide receiver get open down the field? Because both teams feel like they can cover the other team's wide receivers. And as John Gruden said, man, it's hard to get somebody open in this league now.
David Dunn is deep for the kick. Dunn drifting back to his 28. And he's tripped up at the 33-yard line, and a fine play by Damian Douglas down on special teams. And Rich Gannon will lead the Oakland offense out on the field. This is a homecoming for Gannon. As you look at his numbers in their last outing against the Colts, Gannon, a product of St. Joseph's Prep here in Philadelphia and the University of Delaware.
And he goes, we asked him last night, hey, you know, played football down the road here and all that. I knew his answer was going to be just what it was. Hey, it's a business trip. Not having dinner with no friends, nothing, just getting ready for the football game.
Raiders averaging 4 yards a rush on first down runs, and they give it to Garner, and Garner is going to get that and more out over the 40-yard line.
When you look at the Raiders' offensive line, they have a change at right guard. Frank Middleton has taken the place of Mo Collins.
In the backfield, Garner starting for Tyrone Wheatley and John Ritchie, Rice and Brown, historic wide receivers, and Roland Williams is the tight end. So 7-yard pickup on first down, and it's 2nd and 3. They'll run it again. Garner to about the 43 or 44-yard line, and a look now at the Eagle defense. Whiting and Hugh Douglas on the ends, Corey Simon and Hollis Thomas in the middle.
Look at the Philadelphia linebackers, Caldwell, Trotter, and Emmons. They have got to be physical, get up in there and help stop the run.
Vincent and Taylor, a lot of pressure on the corners today. Brian Dawkins and Damon Moore, a couple of excellent safeties. 3rd down and short.
And it's not 50 degrees here either, Greg. It's much colder than that.
Ritchie and Crockett in the backfield. The give is to Crockett. Crockett twisting and gets to the 45 for a first down. And with that, we'll take our first trip to New York into Jim Nance. Jim.
Hey, next week, Greg.
Soldier Field in Chicago. 5 wide receivers here on first down now for Gannon. Quick drop. The pass over the middle is complete to Tim Brown inside the 40 to about the 37 or 36-yard line. And we have a player down on the field, one of the Eagles.
Something the Raiders are one of the best teams in the National Football League at doing, getting rid of the football quick. Tim Brown on the inside, and why they like to keep him inside, it gives him the option to go out, in, up the field, makes it hard for the cornerback, that time Bobby Taylor, to cover him.
And the man that you see flipping up and over, number 43, coming in right there, is Damon Moore, and he is the one who has just been helped to his feet and is slowly coming off. Damon Moore, the 3rd year man out of Ohio State.
Looks like he's okay. Greg, you know, the thing that you see more and more in the NFL now, you see the receiver, that time Tim Brown on the inside, the running back on the outside of him. And why teams do that, to give that wide receiver more options, because when you split him out to the sideline against a good corner, that corner uses that sideline, makes it so difficult to complete passes to the wide receivers out there.
Garner and Ritchie in the backfield. Here's Charlie Garner. And Garner, not much there. John Gruden telling us that in the Raider offensive philosophy, a 3-yard run is a terrific run. The 4-yard run is an outstanding run.
But you know, he's right, because that's how you should measure it in the National Football League. And he knows if he can get his 3rd downs inside 5 yards or less, he's got a mobile quarterback who will run, who knows situations. And I've said many times, they excel at picking up short yardage passing situations.
Well, he's not big on those with no gain, as that one was. It's 2nd and 10, and Gannon to throw. Steps up, has all kinds of time, throws over the middle, incomplete, intended for Roland Williams as tight end.
Well, the Raiders, let's look at their offense. They're missing Tyrone Wheatley. He's the whammer, the banger, whatever you want to call him, up inside. And if you want to have success as an offense against this Eagles defense, you need to run it well. The Eagle defense is not great against the run. It's 18th in the league. They blitz. They got excellent cover guys. They got speed, and they love 3rd and long, which we see right now.
Let's see if Rich Gannon sees a blitz here on 3rd and 10.
It's almost automatic you'll see a blitz.
And now there's a timeout called, and the Eagles on the sideline, you could hear coaches yelling, no, 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 but a timeout has been called by the Philadelphia Eagles. Timeout here at the Vet. On his Eagles called timeout because they had 10 men on the field on that 3rd and 10, so they'll try it now with 11 defenders. Jordan and Ritchie in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Gannon under pressure, gets rid of it. It is incomplete and almost intercepted, juggled all the way out of bounds by Bobby Taylor.
We know it's such an interesting matchup. The Raiders, they know the Eagles are going to blitz. Heck, it's so obvious even we know, but look at Bobby Taylor going underneath Jerry Rice in the corners for the Eagles. They think, hey, go ahead and blitz. They really have confidence they can cover Tim Brown and Jerry Rice one-on-one all over the field.
Pre-game warm-up, Shane Leckler was regularly putting a punt from right about this part of the field out of bounds. He dropped it. He dropped it. He's going to run for it, and he's not going to make the first down. He's cut down at about the 36-yard line. I'm saying Leckler was putting them out of bounds inside the 10-yard line, but first you got to grab it and kick it. Welcome back, everyone, and Darrell Russell suspended for the first 4 weeks of this NFL season, trying to get back into playing shape, into the game on the front line. And Correll Buckhalter gets the handoff and tries the right side, and he is down about 38-yard line. Let's go back to the muffed punt by Shane Leckler.
Yeah, just watch it. You got to concentrate on the football. You can see his eyes go up just a little bit. And I was just telling Greg during the commercial, this is the first time the Raiders, below 50 degrees, a little wind, the football's hard, slick.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 91. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's a first down.
That call is on Reagan Upshaw, and it's not, well, let's just say it's not the first time Reagan Upshaw has been hit with a personal foul call. It's a first down. John Gruden would love to cut down on the number of penalties assessed against his club.
Raider defense came out very aggressive. You think, oh, they're going to have a good game plan today. You think they're going to get Philadelphia's offense backed up. The punt situation, now personal foul. Now the Eagles feel like, hey, let's loosen up. We can take some shots.
From the 46-yard line. McNabb under the gun. Loses the football. It is bouncing back in the other direction. And the Eagles fall on it way back at about the 15-yard line. John Runyon is the man who corralled it.
Did we talk about, and we said already, and I noticed it against the Indianapolis Colts a few weeks ago, the Raiders much more aggressive on defense. And that time Elijah Alexander comes in untouched with the blitz. The Eagles not ready for it, and look at the result. They're fortunate to get the football back, but you can see the blitz too late. The Eagles see it too late. Wellborn can't get out there, can't pick it up.
Were you just talking about field position? That's a 38-yard loss, and it's 2nd and 48. The give is to do Staley, and Staley on the move out over the 30 to close to the 35-yard line. Eric Allen with the tackle. And let's check in once again with Jim Nantz in New York. Jim,
all right.
Say every week about this time, you can't trust anyone in the National Football League.
Here's what I say. Everybody quit talking about the playoffs.
That's right.
Just play. Who's going to the Super Bowl?
McNabb, all kinds of time. Rolling, looking, now puts it down and runs. 35, and hit and knocked down at the 38-yard line by William Thomas.
Wow. What a hit. And that's the one thing, Andy Reid, you don't want to see Donovan McNabb take solid shots. But the thing, when you look at this Raider defense, we told you about how aggressive they're going to be. And the McNabb, you hope to keep him in the pocket, but on a third in such a long situation, leave. He's not going to be able to pick up the first down. But the Miami game, when they lost in Miami about a month ago, that changed their outlook on defense. They decided we got to take it to the offense, and we're seeing it again here today.
David Dunn pulls this one in at the 12. Back to the 15, and down at about the 20, and there's a loose ball. Raiders say they've recovered. Officials will be the ones who count. And it appears that the Raiders have recovered. So it's a 49-yard punt and an 8-yard return. Lots of action, but no score yet here at the Bet.
It's harder. Your hands get a little cold, and it's slicker, tougher to hold on to. So they'll get used to it as the game goes on.
Gannon throws far side. That's complete to John Ritchie, and Ritchie out of bounds just shy of first down yardage. Pickup of 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 3. We mentioned Rich Gannon coming home, and as you said, it just wasn't special. In fact, it wasn't special for very many people. How John Gruden? John Gruden spent years here as offensive coordinator, and he said, I never really got around much. I just kind of crawled around the lower parts of the stadium.
I didn't even know who my next door neighbor was, is what John Gruden says. Spent all the time working in the office.
Quick drop, quick pass. That's complete, and that's enough for a first down to the tight end, Roland Williams. As we come up on 7.5 to play, let's check in with Armin Catane. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, I guess in honor of Halloween, you could say John Gruden dressed up this week as Philadelphia defensive coordinator Jim Johnson. He spent much of the week kind of plotting and scheming against his own quarterback, Rich Gannon, preparing him for all the blitzes he's going to face today. And he said, if we don't pick up those blitzes, we might as well toss out the game plan because we're not going to need it. Greg?
All right, Armin, thanks. Garner and Ritchie, first down, just across the 30-yard line. That's Charlie Garner. And not much on first down. Charlie Garner, an ex-Eagle. And coming in here, and one of the things pointed out during the course of this week is he's going up against Bobby Taylor, the cornerback for the Eagles, and looking at Garner, he says, you know what? I'm the godfather of Charlie's daughter, but if I get a good chance to get a good lick in on him, I will. 2nd and 10. Gannon stepping up. He's going to put it down and run. 40, slides down, and he has enough for a first down.
Well, Rich Gannon, even though he's been in the league for so many years, I think he is the best quarterback in the National Football League when it comes to finding the space to throw the football. And he, of course, having all that experience, he knows when to step up, when to run, and pick up the yardage. And always looking to throw the football first, but that time he knew he could pick up more yards running than throwing a little short pass to the running back out of the backfield.
Just under 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. First down. Gannon flips it. Terry Kirby out of bounds over the 45-yard line. Mike Caldwell ran him out.
Well, that time Bobby Taylor was in the backfield. Didn't know what to do to get the reverse, go for the quarterback, and it was a nice call by the Raiders, showing a lot of diversity so far in this game, because you have to trick this Eagles defense because it's aggressive. It is good. The only weakness I see in it, if you want to call it that, is that they are not great against the run. They're good, and there's Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator. He said about 7 or 8 years ago he started blitzing, and he has stayed with it since.
Garner across midfield and appears to have enough for another Raider first down. Jeremiah Trotter, the middle linebacker, making the stop.
You know, to go back what Armin Catane was saying, John Gruden was imitating Jimmy Johnson, defensive coordinator, because he wanted to get into his team the sense of urgency, how much you got to be ready physically to win the battle, but more mentally to be ready for the blitzes, to really concentrate during the week, because it's going to be the difference in this football game today.
On first down, Gannon, quick pop over the middle to Garner. And Garner helped to his feet after the hit by Trotter. A pickup of 4 makes it 2nd and 6.
And the best thing to do if you want to attack this defense, and John Gruden knows it, is to take advantage of it on 1st and 2nd down when there's a less chance of getting pressure from the defense. Should give your quarterback a little extra time, and you can get short gains just like he did that pass play.
Gannon, 5 completions to 5 different receivers so far. Quick pass to Ritchie leapfrogs a would-be tackler and gets enough for the first down. Troy Vincent was the cornerback coming up to make the stop. And the gazelle-like John Ritchie gets enough for the first down.
Well, when you're the Raiders, as John Gruden has told me many times, I'd say about your offense, and he just goes, look, I got about 8 offenses. I got 1 for Jerry Rice, 1 for Tim Brown. We even got 1 for John Ritchie. And that means throw him a few short passes, give me some valuable yards, and Nice job that time.
Speaking of Jerry Rice, he's flanked to the bottom of your screen, but the pitch goes to Terry Kirby going the other way. Turns the corner and is out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Run out by Carlos Emmons, and it looks to be enough for yet another first down for the Raiders.
Just Greg, just good stuff. Good game planning. A lot of looks. Confusing the Eagles defense. Wide receiver blocking down. Lincoln Kennedy coming out. Nice job by Lincoln Kennedy. Get to the ground as an offensive lineman. And hey, Terry Kirby, just pull him out of the old wood pile and throw him out there. And a talented running back who's a backup and doing a good job for the Raiders.
Oakland dividing the offense up very well between the pass and the rush. First down. They give to Garner. Garner with room to run over the 20. Just about to the 19-yard line. Hugh Douglas and Carlos Emmons making the stop after a 4-yard gain.
You know, it was last night we were talking to John Gruden. Didn't Armin Katayan? John Gruden said Terry Kirby's going to have some plays today, and Armin just kind of laughed. He goes, "Wow, that guy's got a lot of running backs." It's nice that you can just bring Terry Kirby, like he's been on the bench most of the year, out, and he's going to play a key role in your football game, and he has the talent to do it. Terry Kirby can catch it, and he can run it, and has the speed to go outside, which we saw 2 plays ago.
The 11th play of this drive. And going to give it to Garner. Garner cuts it back inside for a couple of yards to about the 18-yard line. Brandon Whiting, the defensive end, making the trip up after a 2-yard gain, and now the Raiders and Gannon are looking at a 3rd and 4.
Well, when you look at the Raider offense, such a good job of hanging in there together. They got a new center in Adam True taking over for Barrett Robbins. Mo Collins is out today at guard. Frank Middleton steps in. So usually if you lose 2 offensive linemen, it affects what you do on offense. But the Raiders have overcome it the last couple games.
3rd and 4. Gannon rolling, looking, throws. That's complete inside the 10 and out of bounds. Jerry Porter, the 2nd-year wide receiver from West Virginia, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Wow, that was a neat-looking play. Watch the defense. Look at it. Everybody coming on the blitz. Damon Moore up inside, mobile quarterback, and Jerry Porter comes all the way across the field to get the yards for the first down.
Jerry Porter in his 2nd season out of West Virginia, and yet another wide receiver comes into play for Rich Gannon.
They have high hopes someday for Jerry Porter being a star in this league, not just a good player.
Garner, right side, still on his feet inside the 5-yard line. Damon Moore finally rides him down.
Now, see, that's just having the right attitude, knowing what type of team you're playing, what's got to be done. And look, watch Charlie Garner just going to go in there and sell out. Leaves his feet. He's really just trying to get 2 or 3 yards, which is so important when you get down inside the 5-yard line. And the extra effort and the hard work and everything just makes a much better situation for the Raiders at the 2-yard line instead of the 6.
2nd and goal. Ritchie and Crockett in the backfield. Brown in motion. Gannon with time. Throws at the goal line. Incomplete. Tim Brown was the intended receiver.
This is a play that Jerry Rice ran 30-some times in San Francisco for a touchdown. Going to go across, going to fake like he's going back, and then real quick snap the ball. But look, the Eagles are ready. They have the adjustment. And that time, Brian Dawkins just waited for him instead of the defender running the cross trying to stay with Tim Brown.
Last 6 times an opponent has gone into the red zone, the Eagle defense has not allowed a touchdown. 3rd and goal. And now Gannon calls timeout as the play clock runs down. Ran out of time, wanted the play sooner than he got it. Back to the action. 3rd and goal. Charlie Garner, the only man in the backfield. He gets the handoff and he gets to the end zone. Touchdown Raiders.
Well, the Raiders, as we were going to commercial last time, you could see Rich Gannon yelling at Randy Jordan. They thought they had a play set up to score a touchdown. Now they come in and they change everything. They spread the offense out, gets the defense spread out a little, and they run the draw up inside with Charlie Garner. Again, caught the Raiders off guard, the Eagles off guard for the touchdown.
Janikowski for the extra point. and he stays perfect on his season, 13 out of 13. Damon Moore told us that Charlie Garner presents the perfect problem for his safety. Touchdown, Garner. Celebration, John Gruden. 7-0 Raiders. Last year, Charlie Garner scored 10 touchdowns. He scores his first as an Oakland Raider here this afternoon. An 80-yard, 15-play drive, and Oakland leads at 7-0.
Such a valuable player to a team, Greg. A guy like Charlie Garner just can do everything you'd want on offense.
Mitchell and Douglas deep. This will be Brian Mitchell from the 2 to the 20. Trying to break outside and almost broke free. He gets it out to the 28-yard line. Do you have any idea?
Oh, I know. I do. I know what AOL stands for.
Keyword.
Keyword?
You have no idea.
No, I do not. And you're always making fun for people out there. I'm not a big computer user, and
in fact, it's
I read the paper.
It's your belief that the computer era is over, isn't it?
It is absolutely over. It's overrated.
On first down, McNabb going to roll and look and throw, and that's complete across the 35 out to the 39-yard line. Tight end Jeff Thomason, and that will be enough for the first down as time runs down here in the first quarter. Andy Reid looks over what he'll do to start the second quarter. McNabb pitches to Buckhalter. Buckhalter cuts it back and gets it out to about the 45.
Yeah, Greg, as you look at that last graphic we showed, the Eagles, they can fall behind. It's not such a terrible thing for this team because, one, they have a defense that makes a lot of plays. They can get you back in the game. Their offense will take chances. They got a young quarterback with a terrific arm who's mobile. So when they fall behind, you don't have to panic. They know they can come back.
Gain of 6 on that play. It's 2nd and 4. Keep it on the ground with Buckhalter coming this way, and this time he is brought down at about the 45-yard line. Greg Biekert and Travian Smith combining for no gain on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
Now, you got to admit, we do a lot of games, Greg, and I don't know how you feel, but when you look at the Raiders and you look at them on the field and you watch them warm up, man, they look the part. They look good. They got a lot of big guys, and I'm just watching them line up against this Eagles offense. And the Raiders, when you put Darrell Russell, Grady Jackson, and you look at some of these players, they have the opportunity to go out there and just to overpower you sometimes.
Deuce Staley in the game. In the backfield, 3rd and 4. McNabb, quick pass, batted down, incomplete. Eric Allen coming up to make the play. The pass intended for Todd Pinkston, number 87.
Now, Eric Allen, the Eagle fans, they remember him, and something that early in the year, I thought teams were throwing a lot of short passes against Eric Allen. He was playing maybe a little soft, but we've said it already, and recently, more aggressive. Eric Allen is trying to take away those short passes.
Donovan McNabb said Eric Allen is more technique-oriented. Woodson, on the other side, relies on pure ability. David Dunn deep, whistle blows.
Yeah. Eric Allen's gotten older and smarter and uses his experience. And Charles Woodson says, I don't care. I'm just better than all of you. And
all he's done is gone to the Pro Bowl 3 times in 3 years.
And he'll learn.
False start. Number 41 offense, moving prior to the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
You know, Greg, Charles Woodson, he'll learn that once he gets into the technique, it becomes an easier job. You just don't have to go out there and battle the guys one-on-one all the time. You can take some of the experience and technique and make the job easier.
David Dunn from the 21 and across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. 39-yard punt and a 5-yard return, and the Raiders are back on offense, and we're back after this. First down, Raiders. Charlie Garner, and not much there. Paul Grassmanis, number 96, Jeremiah Trotter, number 54, with the stop. And when Rich Gannon has gone to the air today, he hasn't exactly played favorites, has he?
He never does. That's the strength of the Raiders offense, is the fact that they will throw it to any wide receiver, to the tight end, and
to the running backs as well.
Yeah. I mean, everybody on the team. If you're a skilled player for the Raiders, a good chance you can catch a pass during the game.
2nd and 11. And sidearms it. And there's Jerry Rice for his first reception. And he's smacked down for a little or no gain at about the 27-yard line. Jeremiah Trotter was there to meet Rice coming over the middle. 2-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 9, and that's game number 231 in a row with a reception.
Well, that was Carlos Simmons getting a hit too, and you know, defensive players, they love hitting Jerry Rice. You know, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, all the great things, and it's like a feather in your cap. Yeah, I busted him one time.
Gannon spins out of trouble. Penalty marker is down. Gannon on the move. 30, 33, 34-yard line before he's brought down by Derek Burgess. It's a holding call against, looks like it'll be Barry Sims of the Raiders. A little confab on the sideline between Reed and his quarterback, Donovan McNabb.
Well, do you decline the penalty or take it? I think it's something you have to actually think of here, because
Holding. Number 65 offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
but that's the right call. Barry Sims, number 65, closest to us. That's got the hand outside. You can put your hands outside the defensive player, but you must immediately get rid of him and get him back inside. He kept it out too long.
Brian Mitchell. 11 career returns for touchdowns. That's tied with Eric Metcalf for #1 all time.
What a punt.
Return this one, and this one goes out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Shane Leckler does the job of turning field position around. Welcome back to Philadelphia, everyone. 12:07 to play here in the first half. McNabb and the Eagles deep in their own territory. McNabb throws out to the far side. Incomplete, intended for Correll Buckhalter. And we check in with Armin downstairs. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, when it comes to Donovan McNabb, you wonder how somebody can be so instinctive and so elusive on the field. Well, it's not all natural ability. McNabb spent much of the offseason in Phoenix participating in these offbeat, intense workouts at a performance facility, doing things like throwing the football while on a balance beam. He said everybody wants to be a hero, but nobody really wants to pay the price for it. Greg?
All right, Armin, thanks. On second down, not much on the left side. You know, if you listened, if you heard Deion Sanders' interview with Donovan McNabb in the NFL Today, one of the things that they both point to with pride is the fact that Donovan McNabb has great feet. Yeah. As Donovan said, I can shake and bake.
He can dance. That's what he said. But yeah, Donovan McNabb, Greg, he has it all. Tremendous arm, mobile, good size, a good leader. Andy Reid says he can be the tough guy with the words in the locker room, or he can be the class clown, and that's why his teammates love him. And when he talks, they listen to him.
3rd and 9. There's a bullet that's incomplete. Would have been enough for the first down had James Thrash been able to hold on, and hear a few boos coming down as the punting team comes onto the field.
Yeah, the crowd, the Eagles offense has not let this crowd get into the game. They're real quiet, and I've played here many times. I never heard the crowd this quiet, but McNabb, even though he's off to a cold start, is one of those guys that when it gets to the time, he can get hot quick, and he can win a game for you single-handedly late if he has to, too.
Eagles just 2 out of 15 on third downs over their last 2 games. They're 0 for 4 today. Sean Landetta out of his own end zone. Fair catch called for by David Nunn at midfield. 41-yard punt, good field position for the Raiders when we come back. Field first down, Raiders from midfield. Gannon out to the side, complete to Garner, and Garner just enough for a first down as he dances out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
It looked like that ball might have been tipped, but what a nice catch and a terrific throw. Rich Gannon, in this league, one thing you've got to be good at is throwing these type of passes, and it was tipped. I thought it was wobbling a little too much, but good concentration, nice catch, and getting up the field by Charlie Garner.
Hollis Thomas got an arm on that one. Raiders now with 10 first downs to 2 for Philadelphia. Holding, throws wide open over the middle. Tim Brown. Brown inside the 20. Loose football. Football goes down, and no, they're going to rule it down back at the 17-yard line. Damon Moore delivered the hit, but Tim Brown is ruled down.
Nice confusion. Tim Brown comes across the formation. The Raiders fake the run, and it confuses the linebackers for the Eagles. Nobody picks up Tim Brown across the middle, and it's not even close. He was down.
Absolutely, his knee was down.
Now, I knew that was going to be a pass, and I'll tell you why. John Ritchie was the halfback. They put him back there along with the tight end Jeremy Brigham to block for Rich Gannon to allow Tim Brown come across the formation.
Back to the ground game now. Just inside the 15-yard line is Terry Kirby.
And you do something like that, Greg. It's a big red light. You know that it's got to be a certain situation, but this is new for the Raiders. They haven't put John Ritchie at halfback, so they'll probably just do it today, and it won't be shown again for 6 more weeks. But that's what Jimmy Johnson, defensive coordinator, told us, talking about the Raider offense. He goes, it doesn't do any good to study their formations. They change every single one of them from week to week.
2nd and 7. Gannon running out of time and throws it away. Well, that last play by Tim Brown also very indicative. Jim Johnson says, they're a pick offense. They're going to run across the middle, and they're going to try to pick off your defenders, and Gannon's going to hit the open man.
Yeah, that's right. And I know Shaquille O'Neal's going to back you down in the basket. So what? You can't stop it sometimes, and it's just, you get a good grasp on what the other team is going to do, but can you get your players to react, and are they good enough to stop those things that you know that they're going to try?
3rd and 7. Ritchie and Jordan in the backfield. Straight drop for Gannon. He's going to go for the corner of the end zone, and it is incomplete. Intended for Jeremy Brigham. The official says he was not inbound. We have a penalty marker down at about the 7-yard line. Personal foul on the Raiders.
Let's watch it. Jeremy Brigham in the back of the end zone. The ball just gets away from Rich Gannon a little, so it hangs in the air. Nice catch. Gets 1 foot down, but could not get the right foot in. What a catch, though. Fingertips down.
Personal foul. Number 73 offense with an elbow to the head. 15-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Greg, he was in.
He was in. However, the penalty is on Frank Middleton, and that would negate it even if the call were made that he had scored a touchdown.
It did. That was, boy, what a catch. And here I'm talking about how the football got away from Rich Gannon.
Frank Middleton getting the start in place of Mo Collins at right guard. Oh, and there's a forearm right there.
Forearm to the head.
To Corey Simon. 3rd and 22, and on the draw, here's Terry Kirby, and there's another marker. Hold on the Raiders. All of this is not going to bring a smile to John Gruden's face on the other side of the field. Doesn't bring a smile to Andy Reid's face either.
Well, this is a big sequence for the Raiders, and of course for the Eagles too. But the way you're playing, you're dominating.
Holding. Number 76 offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
That's 8-time Pro Bowler Steve Wisniewski.
You really might have had a touchdown if it isn't for the personal foul, because the Eagles could have, the Raiders could have challenged the play. They might have been ruled a touchdown. Who knows? You had a chip shot field goal. Now you're back to where if you don't pick up some yards, you're going to have to punt the football. They're going to need at least 10 yards here, Greg.
Yeah, 3rd and 32. The line of scrimmage is the 40-yard line. If you're thinking 1st down, they need the 8-yard line for 1st down. Kirby, the lone back. Gannon. And throws near side, and that's incomplete. So onto the field will come Leckler and the rest of the Oakland punting unit. And a pretty good defensive series there by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, it was okay.
It was helped a little bit.
Yes, it was helped more by the Raiders than what the Eagles did, and John Gruden should be upset. Those are mistakes that you could control, and when you do those things, a lot of times it costs you the outcome of the game.
Leckler aiming for the sideline and runs it out of bounds. Looks like it'll be pretty good position for the Raiders, not for the Eagles. The give is to Buckhalter. Buckhalter turns the corner. 15 out to about the 18 or 19 yard line. Boy, Leckler's last two kicks have pinned the Eagles at the 7 and then the 6 yard line, and Buckhalter helps get Philadelphia out of trouble.
Now, is Andy Reid happy about that run, or is he a little disgusted because it wasn't a pass? What do you think? Talking to him on Friday, the Eagles last year by far led the league in number of passes on first down, and it was a really high percentage. And he learned from Mike Holmgren. They hate to look up and see 2nd and 9 when they only gain a yard with the running game.
Buckhalter to the other side, out over the 20. That 12-yard run by Buckhalter was the longest play for Philadelphia today. Pick up a 3 that time, and it's 2nd and 7.
But to go back to the play selection, Greg, by the Eagles and Andy Reid, he says, look, when you come out and you throw the ball or you attempt to throw it, the one thing he thinks it really accomplishes for his team, that it does tire the defense out, that his team can take advantage of that, especially in the second half.
2nd and 7. Here comes the blitz.
Oh, nice.
McNabb dancing out of trouble, still on his feet, on the move. To about the 19-yard line, Marquez Pope makes the stop there.
Nothing short of a miracle just to get out of what he did, and the Raiders really doing a good job. You see the blitz, 5 guys coming, Darrell Russell pushes him out, Reagan Upshaw has him, nice block in the back against Grady Jackson, and Marquez Pope keeps him there for the short gain.
Now here's something in favor of Andy Reid. He told us that much like Brett Favre in his early days, Donovan McNabb comes out a little too pumped up early in the game and then settles down as the game goes on.
He's right. Donovan McNabb maybe a little quick with his throwing motion early and settles down as the game goes on.
Well, that running play to Deuce Staley goes nowhere. Josh Taves makes the stop. More boos rain down as the Eagles fail again on 3rd down and will kick it away. Chuck Bresnahan.
He's happy, but, you know, he better be happy. There was one tackler there within 20 yards, and that guy made the tackle. So the play was well designed, just not blocked.
Landetta's kick. Done. From the 33. 45. Close to midfield, or he's brought down.
But I'm excited about going to see the Bears. Why are they winning after last season? And then the Cleveland Browns. See Tim Couch, haven't had a chance to see him either.
Charlie Garner breaking tackles out across midfield and inside Eagle territory to about the 46-yard line. Pick up a 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6. Wow, Donovan McNabb just 1 completion and 6 tries, while Rich Gannon is 10 out of 15. But you know what? Eagles are still hanging around. They only trail by a touchdown, 7-0.
Oh.
It was a game of follow the leader. Tim Brown went blowing right by, and Barry Sims went right after him.
See, Barry Sims has always wanted to go in motion.
Number 65 offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. But remains 2nd out.
You know, you talk about it, and we say this when we do Raider games, but the Eagles made a great point of it. Did you see what the Raiders did that time? They shifted twice. Then Tim Brown, after the 2 shifts, left to right, the fullback moves position. Then Tim Brown goes across the formation. They're doing a lot of stuff, a lot of window dressing, as you would call it, diversions, trying to give somebody an opportunity to get open.
Gannon going to throw it far side, incomplete, intended for Randy Jordan down the left sideline. Stops the clock with 5 minutes to play here in the first half, and it'll be a 3rd and 11.
Now, you talked about it. The Raiders have dominated. They've had a lot of opportunities. They probably had a touchdown taken off the board on the last drive. And here they are, field position again, and only up 7-0, and you're the visitor.
Eagle defense hears it from the fans. 3rd and 11. Jordan and Ritchie are lined up behind Gannon, and here comes the blitz. They pick it up, Gannon over the middle and hits his man. That's enough for a first down to Jerry Porter.
Well, the Eagles do a tremendous job of waiting to the last second to send 2 blitzers. Look at the pickup by the Raiders. And look, nobody in front of Rich Gannon as he looks down the middle of the field and sees Porter coming across the middle, and a perfect strike in traffic. Nice spiral to the body of the receiver. That way he can't chicken out and drop the ball. Make him catch it.
That's 2 catches for Porter today. He had 4 all told for the season coming in. The pass over the middle is complete. And to the 30-yard line is Roland Williams, the tight end. And now Gannon is just looking for anybody who's open.
Oh, they got it going now. They got the formations going, people coming across, and Roland Williams. Well, we saw Roland Williams yesterday. Remember that, Craig, in the elevator? We were coming down from talking with John Gruden, and he was talking. John Gruden says he brings a lot of life to our football team, and after meeting him, he's not shy in the word department.
2nd and short. Garner diving for first down yardage inside the 30.
They are dominating the Oakland Raiders. You look back, big 3rd down completion by Rich Gannon. Look at the yards. They're doing it against a very good defense, too.
Clock continues to move, coming up on 3 minutes to play. Didn't get the first down. 3rd and 1.
Raiders had the week off last week. They do look fresh and showing a lot of new stuff to the Philadelphia Eagles defense.
And the Eagles have the short week, having played on Monday night. That's a first down and more for Zach Crockett. Crockett reaches the 25-yard line. Brian Dawkins with the snap, 5-yard pickup, and it's first down.
Now, you know, Roland Williams, number 86, does a good job of getting the block up front. He's in motion. Just gets a stalemate. Oh, John Ritchie, nice kick out. That's the block that really made it. But maybe if John Ritchie is the halfback, Greg, he will carry it because everybody else is getting a shot.
Garner now the only back behind Gannon. And he gets the handoff, dances out of trouble, trying to turn the corner, and he doesn't make it. The godfather of his child drags him down. Bobby Taylor coming up from his cornerback spot to make the play.
That's got to be a lot of fun for the families to see that happen.
2:02, 2:01, and now 2 minutes to play in the first half. The Raiders clinging to a 1-touchdown lead.
I think it's exciting, Greg, and it's just, you know, now don't even think of asking me who's going to be in the playoffs. I don't even want to hear the question, but just watch the games and enjoy them because it is exciting to see who's going to pull the victory out each week.
On 2nd and 12, Gannon throws it out to this side, complete to Roland Williams. That is the 39th offensive play run by the Eagles, or by the Raiders here in the first half. The Eagles have run 18.
It's domination, and if it wasn't for a few mistakes by the Raiders, this is as silly mistakes they caused themselves. This is as sharp and as physical, I think, as I've ever seen them, because this is a quality team they're going against, and they're dominating them physically. 185
total yards to 44. Shuffling the backs in and out. Randy Jordan now lines up behind Gannon on 3rd and 9. Pass to the far side, incomplete and right through the hands of Williams, the tight end. And so Janikowski will come on to kick the field goal.
Look at Rich Gannon is giving it to Roland Williams. You've got to look quicker because the blitz comes. We cannot pick it up, and you were not looking fast enough. So Janikowski
will line this one up from 42 yards away. He's hit 14 straight from inside 50. Make it 15 in a row with plenty of room to spare. 42-yard field goal. Raiders lead it 10-0. Yard field goal. Remember, it was all set up with Shane Leckler's punt pinning the Eagles deep in their own territory. Janikowski's kick somewhat short. Brian Mitchell from the 10, 20, 30, across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Johnny Harris with the stop. Deuce Staley in the lineup as McNabb goes to work and tries to get something done for the Eagles here before time runs out in the first half. Staley on the receiving end, breaks free, midfield, still on his feet, down the sideline and out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. 29 yards before Torrey James finally shoved him out.
This tells you, or this is a good illustration why just complete the pass. Because if you complete the pass, you don't know what's going to happen. Anthony Dorsett misses the tackle for no gain, and then Deuce Staley takes off, and the Eagles get their first really productive play of the game.
You see Darrell Russell giving chase there, just missing the tackle. McNabb to throw. Under pressure, got his man. It's complete to Nate Brown, and Brown is out of bounds. Good for another first down at the 25. 11-yard pickup makes it a first down. 51 seconds to play, and each team with 2 timeouts remaining.
See, a missed tackle really just... How simple, Greg. It's kind of what the Eagles offense is about. They tell McNabb, just keep completing the passes. Somebody will catch it and make a play, and we saw it with Deuce Staley.
McNabb, pump fake, rolls, and now throws toward the end zone and overthrows everybody. Just threw it away. Todd Pinkston was his nearest receiver.
Now he had Todd Pinkston on what you call a double move. He went down, he faked like a quick route to the inside and took off down the sideline. McNabb should have let it go. I thought he was open for the touchdown, and he decided to wait and see if he could find somebody that was more open.
44 seconds to play. 2nd and 10. Down to the 15-yard line and close to another first down. And timeout is called to stop the clock with 34 seconds to play.
Not open, I'll run for 10 yards, and there you go. So pass rushers usually start out being disciplined, staying in their lane, but as the game goes on, they try too hard to get to the quarterback.
Eagles 0 for 5 on 3rd down today. They need a yard. McNabb going to flare it out to this side, incomplete over the head of Deuce Staley. What does Andy Reid do here?
That play was set up too, and Andy Reid knows it. Hank Fraley, the center, was pulling out to block for the running back, and then McNabb puts it on line. Watch the center come all the way out. Here he comes. He's going to block the guy that's covering Deuce Staley. Charles Woodson comes up, not able to get the completion.
So David Akers will attempt to put the Eagles on the board for the first time today from 34 yards out. Play clock winds down, and they run out of time. So this will be a 39-yard field goal attempt now.
Play game. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Well, that was pretty quick.
Conversation going on.
Yeah, it could have been a mistake.
There's no delay of game infraction. There was a delay in getting the kicking ball in from the sideline, so we're going to reset the play clock.
All right, 12 kicking balls, special balls, to make sure that there's not an edge for either team.
How surprising that doesn't sit well with John Gruden. So it's still a 34-yard attempt for David Akers. It's straight enough. It is long enough. And it's a 10-3 lead for the Oakland Raiders. David Dunn standing just inside his own 5-yard line for the kick. The Raiders still have 2 timeouts remaining. Big play, the pass to Deuce Staley, which helped set up the Eagle field goal. Dunn from the 1. Gets to the sideline. And it's down at about the 30-yard line by Damon Moore. 29-yard return.
You see, it just nicked his face mask. But when you see players drop the ball, it is amazing. It's his eyes. Of course, I'd be looking a lot quicker than that. He was looking at the defenders running at him just a second too early. Almost caused a fumble.
So figure Gannon and the Raiders should just run out the rest of the time here in the first half, and that's exactly what they'll do. A kneel down, and everybody heads for the locker room. The Raiders move the ball almost at will, but they just have 10 points on the board. And let's go to Armin Katayan.
John, your thoughts on that last Eagle drive and how it might affect what otherwise a very sharp physical performance by your team?
Well, we knew it was going to be a tight football game. The guy made a play. Deuce Staley's done that in the past. We got to do a better job making a play. This is an exciting game, and we got to come out ready to play in the second half.
All right, John. Thank you, Greg.
All right, Armin, our halftime score. The Raiders leading the Eagles by a 10-3. Well, the Raiders are going to get their hands on the ball first here in the second half. Akers kicks it away. David Dunn from the 4. And met just as he crossed the 15-yard line. And Correll Buckhalter leading the way for the stop. And we have a penalty marker. Offsides on the kickoff.
Offsides, number 82, kicking team. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll re-kick the ball.
So while we realign, let's take a look at the halftime stats, and not surprisingly, dominated by the Raiders.
Everything is in the Raiders' favor. Greg, third down conversions, very impressive. 5 and 9 for the Raiders. That's tough to do against the Eagle defense. But
yet you look at those numbers, Phil, and you would figure the Raiders for more than a 1-touchdown lead.
Yeah, well, really one play before half. The short pass to Deuce Staley, the long run gave them the field goal. That was really the only positive thing for the Eagles offense in the first half.
You saw Rich Gannon pacing the sidelines there, anxious to get back on the field. Had a few choice words for some teammates at various times in the first half.
Well, I think he was once described by me from Tim Brown. He says, boy, you know, who is this guy? Like a couple years ago when he went in with the Raiders, he says, he's telling us what to do and all this. He acts like a Philadelphia cab driver. Well, I've never caught a cab down here in Philadelphia, but I know what he meant. Rich Gannon is going to keep everybody in line. You better know your job, and that's just part of the job of being a quarterback, and he handles those situations very well.
Akers kicking again to Dunn. This time Dunn from the 13. Better running start and much more mileage out of it, just close to the 35-yard line and better field position. 22-yard return for the Raiders. And here comes Gannon.
I actually thought the Raiders, when they started moving the football in the first half and changing their formations and moving people around, that the Eagles actually got a little more conservative on defense. And Rich Gannon, you remember he told us that last night? He says most teams we play, we come out there and give them all this stuff. It keeps them from blitzing. He thought the Eagles wouldn't buy into that, but it did work. Towards the end of the first half, the Eagles settled down a little on defense.
Let's see what Gannon does on first down. He's on the ground to Garner, and Garner out to about the 39-yard line. And a very acceptable 4-yard gain for John Gruden's offense on first down. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I saw Corey Simon, number 90, got in there on that tackle. We had a chance to talk to Corey Simon, and a rookie last year, came out of Florida State, and we said, Corey, what'd you work on this offseason? Well, of course, everything, but the big thing he did was just get stronger to learn to stand up to helped stand up, stopping the running game in the NFL.
Quick drop, quick pass far side. That's complete to Tim Brown, and he's out of bounds just about a yard shy of first down. Corey Brown, he said that, you know, when we asked him what his hobbies were, he said, I bowl. And, you know, of course, well, everybody bowls. And he said, well, once you have your own ball, you're a serious bowler.
Yeah, you're a serious bowler. That's Corey Simon. Yes, he his best. Was his best game about a 237. 237 was his best game. He has a silver sparkly ball, and of course, the first thing we said, you must just grab it and just rip it down the lane. He goes, no, I'm a finesse bowler.
3rd and 1. Straight ahead, Zach Crockett, first down.
But you're going to see why Corey Simon during the offseason worked on the weights, just got stronger, and going against Adam True that time, and just creates a mess inside. And that's what he's supposed to do in a situation like this. So the linebacker can come in. That time it's Jeremiah Trotter to make the tackle.
There's not a whole lot of glory in that defensive tackle position, is there?
There really is not. It is just, that's just dirty work. That's the best way to describe it.
First down. Gannon pulls it down and is pulled down back at the 39-yard line by Mike Caldwell.
Now, did you not think that when Rich Gannon moved that he was going to run for about 10 yards? And Mike Caldwell just comes flying out of nowhere. Watch it. Rich Gannon's going to step up. Looks like, hey, there goes a nice gain, and well, that's what it's happening in the National Football League. The linebackers, even defensive linemen, they're getting so fast that it makes it very difficult for quarterbacks to break the line of scrimmage and get some good yardage on scrambles.
And now Jeremiah Trotter is taking a breather down there.
But he's playing with Hugh Douglas, Corey Simon, good defensive backs, so a lot of people don't talk about it.
2nd and 16, Garner out this way, and his net hit hard by Carlos Emmons, another one of those fine Eagles linebackers. 3rd and 13.
Well, you know, you talk about this Eagles defense, and we had a chance to talk to Jimmy Johnson, defensive coordinator. I said, you know, give me a little idea where you learned and where you started doing all this blitzing. And he said about 7 or 8 years ago, when I was in Arizona, I started blitzing because I got just so tired of watching offenses throw all those short passes and dink and dunk us. So he got into blitzing, and ever since then he stayed with it.
On 3rd down, Gannon's going to go deep down the sideline. It is incomplete and almost intercepted by Troy Vincent, who had about a step and a half on Tim Brown, the intended receiver. So Shane Leckler, who has done some terrific kicking so far in this game today, will come on to punt.
Oh, boy. Excellent job. Good job by the Raiders. Just air it out instead of trying to find a way to pick up the yardage. Let the Eagles know you're going to go deep every once in a while. But Troy Vincent, perfect position to defense the pass.
Brian Mitchell will let this one bounce, and it bounces out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. 46-yard punt, and no return on the play. Vincent juggling, flashes, incomplete. 3 times they've all pinned Philadelphia inside the 15-yard line. And on first down here, the pass is incomplete off the fingertips of Pinkston, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Well, Donovan McNabb still has yet to find the groove that Rich Gannon definitely had in the first half. Neither Pinkston nor fellow wide receiver James Thrash has a reception.
It's a movie. Donovan finding him his groove or whatever, isn't it? Something like that.
That may be the worst analogy in the history of this great league. Points of interest in the terrific city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 2nd and 10 for McNabb and company. He pulls it down, and he's going to run. And pulled down at the 15-yard line by William Thomas, the ex-Philadelphia Eagle linebacker, now in his 2nd season with Oakland.
Well, the one thing the Raiders are doing is Eagles going without no huddle, but the safeties are going in the middle of the field. What that does is help with crossing routes and the quarterback when he scrambles.
Quick drop, quick pass, and that's complete across the 30 and dropped. Todd Pinkston had it and dropped it, and the punting unit will come onto the field.
So the Raiders changing their defense a little bit to make sure Donovan McNabb, if he does get out of the pocket, that they have one more defender around the line of scrimmage to tackle him. And there's no doubt the difference. I can see it here in person. I saw it when I watched the game when they played the Indianapolis Colts. The Raider defense has changed. It's more aggressive, taking more chances, and not giving up any cheap plays by the offense.
Former teammate of yours, Sean Landetta, kicks it away from the 5-yard line, and Sean can still kick it. Fair catch is called for by Dunn and made at the 36-yard line. 49-yard punt. This figured to be a contentious football game right from the start. The Eagles, the leaders in the NFC East, the Raiders on top of the AFC West. Two old friends in Reed and Gruden, and the only touchdown of the day scored by Rich Gannon and the Oakland Raiders. Garner on the run, a field goal on each side, and we have a 10-3 game.
Good music.
Thank you. 10:54 to play in the third. Garner in the backfield, takes the handoff, looking for running room, goes the other way to the 40, maybe the 41-yard line, and we check in with Armin.
Greg, the update on middle linebacker Jeremiah Trotter, the team's leading tackler. Serious pain in his lower left leg. He's in the locker room right now getting x-rays. Return questionable.
All right, thanks, Armin. And Barry Gardner is on to replace him, number 52. Second-round draft pick of the Eagles back in '99. On 2nd and 7, Gannon to throw. Over the middle, wide open is Rice, and he's got him inside the 30 to the 27-yard line, and Brian Dawkins makes the stop.
I did not see how Jerry Rice got so wide open. I was looking out in the flat going, boy, Rich Gannon should throw it to Roland Williams. Jerry Rice to the screen, to the left, up the middle, and where is the defense?
Rice with his second reception of the night. The 12-time Pro Bowl wide receiver has come to Oakland. It's a whole new scene for him after so many great years in San Francisco. First down, coming up on 9.5 to play in the third. The give is to Garner, right side, room to run, inside the 10-yard line and dragged down at the 5. First and goal for the Raiders. Mike Caldwell made the saving tackle.
Well, that time you saw the delay, what took so long to get the play off. Rich Gannon checked off to a different play. Nice lead block by John Ritchie against Gardner, and Charlie Garner does a good job of picking up the extra yards. But John Ritchie, we haven't talked about him today, Greg, but he has been the difference in the running game. He has had about 4 or 5 big blocks that have let the running back get extra yards.
And the Eagles call a timeout here on 1st and goal in order to get their defense lined up right. That's the first timeout that they've used here in the second half.
Well, a couple things. Again, John Ritchie, his lead blocks, and then Jerry Rice finally getting open down the field. It had to be a problem the Eagles have with their secondary, but, you know, we talked to Jerry Rice last night. You think, well, San Francisco to Oakland's going to be the same thing. Entirely different. Learning the new offense, 3 positions. And I thought the funniest thing of all, Greg, was this. He goes, man, John Gruden actually yells at me during practice. And I said, when was the last time you were yelled at, Jerry? And I think he said about 12, 14 years ago, Bill Walsh yelled at him once.
And yet, on top of it all, he says, John's just trying to get me to relax.
Just trying to get him relaxed. Because, and you know, if you know Jerry Rice, that's the truth. He doesn't relax. He never does. He still thinks he's got to prove everybody wrong that he still is good enough to play and be a big part of the game.
Here's Zach Crockett, right side, spinning inside the 5 to about the 3 before he is smacked down, and Carlos Emmons leading the charge.
Well, Zach Crockett has taken the place of Tyrone Wheatley. And as I've been told many times by John Gruden, Tyrone Wheatley's job, and today it's Zach Crockett, to don't dance, take it up in the line of scrimmage, and give one of those 3-yard runs that you were talking about, Greg, because 3-yard run, that's a successful run for the Oakland Raiders.
I believe you called him a whammer early on.
Yeah, whammer, you know, slammer. Just get it up in there. No dancing allowed.
Second and goal. Hands it off to Crockett again, and Crockett trying the left side, gets it down to about the 2, maybe the 1.5.
Now, what did that look like?
A whammer.
That was a whammer. Everybody just line up and let's just run into the wall. And you got to give the Eagles a lot of credit. They hung in there. Everybody knows it or thinks that they can run the ball in this defense, and they're...
Boy, time of possession heavily favoring the Oakland Raiders. Richie and Jordan in the backfield. Gannon's going to roll and throw it sidearm. It's incomplete. Intended for Jerry Rice.
Well, Jerry Rice had told me,
and blockers are down in the end zone.
He's going to come inside, trying to get the defense to think he's going to cross, stop, and go back outside. But it's a good hold. I can't see who has him. Oh, it's Brian Dawkins. You saw this exact play earlier.
Number 23, defense. That'll be half the distance to the goal. It's an automatic first down.
The penalty is on cornerback Troy Vincent.
Wow. But I was going to say, Greg, they tried the exact play earlier to Tim Brown, you remember? And they covered it. Different formation, different player. Eagles ready for it.
First and goal. Crockett. Touchdown.
Huge penalty.
Zach Crockett with his second touchdown of the season. A 1-yard run. And now, with the extra point looming, the Raiders with a chance to take a 17-3 lead.
Well, what this does is, by scoring this touchdown and not a field goal, it could change the game plan of the Philadelphia Eagles. They might even be more hesitant to run the football.
Janikowski's kick is good. Zach Crockett, the whammer of the day, designated by John Gruden and the Oakland Raiders. I've capped by Zach Crockett's second touchdown of the season. Janikowski will now kick it away, and Brian Mitchell stands in his end zone. He's the deep man. Damian Douglas is the one about 10 yards further up. This will be Mitchell from the 7. 20. Out to the 25, 26-yard line. The big play was Jerry Rice's 33-yard reception. He was pretty open, too, Phil.
He was open, and here's why he got open. The formation. Roland Williams goes in motion. Now nobody's in front of Jerry Rice, and he gets on the safety. Brian Dawkins makes a nice move. Nobody back there to help him, and Greg, that just goes back to coaching. Giving your players a chance to make plays. The formation allowed Jerry Rice to get down the field against the safety, and he took advantage of it.
McNabb on first down, throws this side. Cecil Martin, first time we've mentioned him today. Number 38 pulls it in. As you take a look at the scores flying by, and how about those New England Patriots with a 3-point lead on the Denver Broncos, Seattle on top of Miami, and the Washington Redskins handing it to the New York Giants. Dallas leading Arizona. Will be in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. November is later on this week, as a matter of fact.
No, this month. No, oh, yeah, November's later this week, you mean. I'm sorry.
McNabb to throw again. That quick pass is complete, and immediately Thrash is hit just after he catches the ball by Travian Smith.
Eagles, they love the short passing game, somewhat like the Raiders do. James Thrash catches it, goes inside, and look, when you catch balls, footballs that close to the line of scrimmage against the defense, you know you're going to take a big hit.
Smith in place of Elijah Alexander, who played a little bit, but he was questionable at the start. He's finished for the day with a bad knee. McNabb throw it this side, and again it's Martin, and he is hit by Anthony Dorsett, and finally ends up back at 32, although his forward progress will be marked at about 37.
Well, Anthony Dorsett missed the last tackle when he came up against a receiver catching the ball. That was in the first half against Deuce Staley. This time makes a good hit, gets a hold of the leg, and says, you're going nowhere this time.
You know, the son of Tony Dorsett has made a pretty good go of things so far this season. He has returned 2 interceptions for touchdowns.
Andy Reid talked about him. He said when you watch film, you can see that this guy with experience is getting the hang of how to be a safety. And the one thing he has blazing speed.
2nd and 10, McNabb scrambling, waves the receiver down, and then hits Chad Lewis out of bounds across midfield and into Oakland territory to the 40-yard line. First down, Eagles.
Well, I think the Eagle offense, when you watch it, and I've had a chance to watch it a couple times this year, Donovan McNabb, I don't know if they can beat you by him just dropping back and throwing the football down the field. But when you get over anxious or you go too fast at the quarterback, he moves. He is absolutely one of the best of throwing the football on the run, and very, very accurate.
Chad Lewis came into the day's action with 17 catches and a couple of touchdowns. That's his first reception of the day. On first down, Buckhalter looks downfield, pulls it down, and now he's going to run inside the 40 to about the 39 or 38-yard line. We saw Buckhalter throw a pass in practice on Friday, and we asked Andy Reid if that was just for fun. He goes, oh, no, that's in our game plan.
That's in the game plan. Trying to throw it to Chad Lewis, the tight end, who split out as a wide receiver, but it just wasn't a good fake. You know, when you do that, you got to run out there and really stick that ball in the arm and try to make the defenders think you're going to run it. But, you know, when you're not a thrower, you're nervous about it. So he pulled it up too quick.
He picked up 3, and it's a 2nd and 7. McNabb pulled down at the 40 by Josh Taves.
And that was a good job by the Raiders defensive front. You could see McNabb wanted to run because nobody was open down the field, but they didn't go after the quarterback too hard. They spread the line of scrimmage. Look at that, 2 guys in front, and when he does step up, Josh Taves comes off the block, makes the sack.
Oakland's 3rd sack of the day, the first of the season for Taves, and McNabb has now been sacked 23 times so far this season.
How's this for a Raider defensive lineman? Let's rush the passer, but not too hard.
3rd and 10. McNabb throws, complete, flash, won't get the first down, and again, the Eagles come up short on 3rd down.
Well, the fans are booing, but I don't think there's any question. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
We are inside of 3.5 minutes. Now, 3rd down hasn't been wonderful for them, but 4th down has been terrific for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's very good, and this is a very makeable situation, 4th and 5. And sometimes stats can be misleading, but when you got a quarterback that can move around like him, Donovan McNabb, it makes it easier to pick up these situations.
He gets the play off, has time, still dancing, throws this side, and it is incomplete. Intended for Thrash. Charles Woodson was there to make the play. The ball goes over on downs, and the Raiders lead at 17-3. Back into the action. The Raiders with the ball at their own 35-yard line. And they'll be looking to take some time off the clock. Zach Crockett straight ahead.
I'm just being quiet.
I noticed.
It's hard, too.
Charlie Garner back into the lineup on 2nd and 5. And that's Ritchie. And the pitch to Garner, following Ritchie around the right side. Still on his feet, and then down at about the 43-yard line, Carlos Emmons makes the stop, and it'll be a 3rd and 2.
The one thing you can say today, and you watch this game, and you're thinking, well, let's get an opinion here on the Raiders. Their running backs are running up to the line of scrimmage as hard as any group of running backs I've seen in the league this year. And John Gruden, he must preach to this team and that group of running backs and the offensive line what he told us. 3 yards is really important, and they run like they're trying to get 3 yards.
3rd and 2. Around the right side is first down, yardage for Randy Jordan, and much more. Cuts it back inside and is pulled down inside the 25-yard line to about the 20.
And you know what? You get rewarded for running hard and blocking hard because there's not a lot there. But now it's Randy Jordan's turn. Everybody else is doing it and just keeps moving. A lot of effort, and all of a sudden there's no defenders, and he takes what they're hoping will be a 3-yard run and makes a long run out of it.
37-yard pickup.
Randy Jordan, Charlie Garner, it's just Terry Kirby.
Zach Crockett.
Zach Crockett is truly just use them all. And John Ritchie leading the way.
Garner and Crockett now in the backfield, and they give to the first man through, and that's Crockett.
He's down.
Well, I tell you, just impressive. And this reminds me of what I'm watching today from the Raiders, a lot how they were last year. Everybody talks about the skilled people. Rich Gannon, throw the football. John Gruden, he's a genius in the passing game. But everybody forgot what they did. They came out and smashed the ball down your throat. That's what they did last year. And today reminds me of how they played last year.
And John Gruden says, wind that clock and let it go down to the end of the 3rd quarter. And we'll go to the other end with 15 minutes to play. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. The Raiders lead the Eagles 17-3. Raiders offensive line for paving the way for a good ground game tonight by the Raiders, as well as good protection for Gannon in the passing game. 2nd and 5. Gannon throws this side, complete. Jeremy Brigham, the tight end. And, you know, this has been a makeshift offensive line. Adam True is in the middle for Barrett Robbins. Well, here's the changes that have taken place. Adam True in for Barrett Collins. Mo Collins has been replaced tonight by Frank Middleton. Barry Sims is playing with a screw in one foot. He doesn't even practice during the week. They save him for the game.
Steve Wisniewski has a bad ankle. He has a hard time practicing. John Gruden, I thought this would really be a problem for the team. He said they're going to overcome it, and I believe him after watching today's performance.
On 3rd and 4, Gannon throws incomplete right through the hands of Roland Williams. Williams has had a tough night at times tonight.
Good protection. The Raiders love to move the pocket in a lot of situations, and if Roland Williams catches that football, could be a first down, could have meant the end of the game, and now he's got to deal with the look.
32-yard field goal attempt by Janikowski. He's converted from 42. This one is long enough and straight enough. And Janikowski extends the Raiders' lead to 20-3. They're poised to go 5-1. San Diego winning, Seattle winning, Denver on the short end of the score. Kansas City at 1-6.
Denver is now winning, Greg. 24-20 over New England. I got to keep you updated on everything.
I appreciate it.
Especially your clothes.
Mitchell from the 1, 15, 20, and out to about the 21 or 22-yard line. 14:02 to play here in the 4th quarter. Eagles need some offense, and they need it now. They're down 3 scores. They go to 5 wide receivers. McNabb, incomplete, batted down by Eric Allen. And, you know, as the defense deployed for the Raiders, you saw William Thomas flanked out here on Deuce Staley all by himself like a cornerback.
Well, William Thomas, the ex-Eagle, has the speed and is a good enough athlete to do those type of things, and that would not be an advantage for the Eagles when you see a situation like that.
McNabb looks like he barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage. Rod Coleman makes a stop, and you probably heard someone yell holding on 71.
But you look at this, I talked about it, Greg, if you just keep Donovan McNabb in the pocket, I have not seen it from the Eagles that they methodically can throw the football down the field and beat you in these situations.
Deep drop from McNabb this time, and now rolling and throwing, and that's complete, but not nearly enough for the first down to Deuce Staley. And the kicking unit onto the field.
As I say that, and I look down the field, I don't see like Eagle receivers wide open. The Raiders are absolutely doing a terrific job of covering the receivers. But when I watched the Giant game, and then we watched it on Friday, I don't see Eagle receivers getting open when they're running down the field either. So you're playing the Eagles, keep McNabb in the pocket, and make them prove that wide receivers can beat you.
Landetta's kick. David Dunn, fair catch at the 29. You think Andy Reid will be asked about the Eagles being 0 for 9 on third down today? And that's so far. Task of the Raiders now will be to take some time off the clock with the ball in a 20-3 lead. Garner and Ritchie in the backfield figure to get some work. Here's Garner, left side, full head of steam out across the 30 to 32 yard line, and Charlie Garner has been one busy running back for the Raiders today.
What a pickup during the offseason. Just watch how hard he runs.
He does it on the ground. He catches passes, and he has been especially the spark plug that they've needed with Tyrone Wheatley not in the lineup today with the bad knee.
Yep, former Eagle last year with the 49ers.
Garner again. And Hugh Douglas making the stop at the 33-yard line. The ground game for the Raiders today, take a look at just by the numbers.
You know, that's pretty neat. And I know Shane Leckler's the punter, but all the people, Charlie Garner leading the way. But look how everybody else has got a carry or two to really be part of this productive running game by the Raiders. And it was a terrific game plan and by John Gruden. And when you give it to running backs, they only get a couple shots. The one thing you know they're going to do, they are going to run hard.
Whistle blows on 3rd and 6, and number 77, Darrell Ashmore, appeared to have moved.
False start. Number 77 offense, moving prior to the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
You know, Darrell, you said Darrell Ashmore, one of the biggest human beings I've ever seen. But going back to Charlie Garner, Greg, why does he move around? You know, it must be because he just doesn't quite fit that ideal mode or look that some NFL teams want. He's been productive. We meet him. He's a nice guy. He works hard. He can do all types of things. Very versatile as a running back. But teams get him and go, well, he's not the kind of guy that we really want. So he moves on, and wherever he goes, he does a tremendous job.
Here's the pitch for Jordan coming around the right side. And is run out of bounds just across the 30-yard line. Not enough for the first down. Jim Nance, what's up in New York? All right, Jim, thank you. On 4th down, Leckler, who has done a terrific job kicking the football today, gets off another good one. Penalty marker is down. Brian Mitchell lost the football, picked it up again, and is out of bounds at about the 25-yard line.
They were going to run a reverse that time.
And we have a holding call against the Raiders.
And you send them back for 2 reasons. 10 yards, get the big thing is better field position, but you got a better chance of breaking a long punt return.
Holding. Number 42 in the kicking team. Prior to the kick, it's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay 4th down.
Phil, I thought the best line of the week came from John Gruden when he was asked about sentimentality of returning to Philadelphia and feelings not getting in the way. And he said, well, I guess I'm just a shallow guy.
Oh, but he did, Greg, you understand why. It's not like a homecoming, even though he was the offensive coordinator here. He just says, hey, I don't mean it to be bad, but I didn't even know who my neighbors were when I lived here. Look, you wake up, you go to work, and when I come home, it was dark every night, or, you know, it was already dark, so you don't get out and enjoy a social life sometimes when you're an NFL coach.
So Leckler will kick it again, and we have whistles again.
Well, Leckler's just hit 2 terrific punts, so can he do 3 in a row?
We have false false start on the offense. We also have a personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense. By rule, this is a 5 and 15-yard penalty, and the 15-yard penalty will be enforced in the previous spot. The 5-yard penalty is disregarded, and it will be a first down for Oakland.
Wow.
How big is that?
Well, it prevents Andy Reid from getting the football back, for one thing.
Well, and whatever chance or whatever hopes you had in this game were severely damaged too by that call. Tom White didn't tell us who the personal foul was against.
It was a 4th and 16. And since it's marked off from the spot of the foul, which was a bit downfield, the line of scrimmage is now the 38-yard line.
Bobby Taylor, number 21, on the sideline against Johnny Harris, number 37.
Well, now we're getting another call.
Illegal substitution. Oakland, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down. There's 12 men in a huddle.
Go ahead, make a comment.
I can't. I'm afraid there might be a flag. 1st and 15 for the Raiders at the 32. Charlie Garner out to the 35-yard line once again. Jim Nantz in New York.
When you lose a game, every once in a while, the coaches will disagree. Something good can come out of it. And we have seen that today, Greg. This is a more aggressive, physical football team, and it's better than the team I saw a few weeks ago.
Look at Charlie Garner take off across the 45, and he is within shouting distance of the first down marker.
You know, the Raiders this offseason, they go out and get Charlie Garner. They go out and get Jerry Rice, Trace Armstrong, who I thought was a terrific pickup. He blew out his Achilles tendon. He is out for the year, but he would have been a factor on their defense in the pass rush. And they just went out and got proven players, guys that they knew who were going to come in here, what they were getting, and were going to be productive. And it's, you know, look at Charlie Garner.
I also think coaches will tell you that it's not necessarily the team that you field at the beginning of the season, but how well you're going to be able to cope with the inevitable injuries that will come along. Zach Crockett diving for the first down, and he may be just a bit short.
And the Raiders, they can overcome the loss of Trace Armstrong because they do have a lot of good defensive linemen. Reagan Upshaw, he's a terrific pass rusher. Tony Bryant, Grady Jackson, Darrell Russell on the inside. Coleman, it's Josh Taves reserves. Like a lot of teams, if you want to be a top-flight NFL team now, your defense, of course, has to be good, I think, and you need a lot of defensive linemen. And the Raiders, they play 8 of them.
As we get the measurements here, you have to wonder just how that Baltimore Ravens defense is going to continue to perform for the rest of the year. You'd have to say they escaped the Jacksonville Jaguars today. And the Raiders are that short of a first down, and Leckler and the punting unit will come on.
Yeah. They're going to try this punt thing one more time, Greg. Last time it resulted in a couple punts, 4 or 5 penalty flags.
A few conferences.
Raiders get to run 3 more plays, take about 2 minutes off the clock.
This time, Brian Mitchell back to his own 15-yard line. Let's see what kind of a kick Leckler gets off here. He hasn't gotten a bad one off today. They'll let the play clock run down.
9 seconds.
Leckler had to hurry that one.
Great job of getting it off, and another terrific punt.
And Mitchell with the fair catch at about the 12-yard line. 41-yard kick and no return. High draft picks to get kickers. Sebastian Janikowski, a first-round pick. Leckler, a fifth-rounder. And you see what Leckler has done with 4 kicks today, all of them pinning the Eagles inside their own 15-yard line. Chad Lewis on the catch just over the 15 to the 17-yard line, and now the Eagles are in a hurry on offense. coming up on 8 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it's a tough situation for the offense, and what you do as a quarterback right here, just do whatever you have to do to keep moving the football. Don't try to get
everything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Don't get greedy. Don't try to make a big play. If it takes you 8 minutes to score a touchdown, then do it.
McNabb's numbers on the night, 10 of 22 for 100 yards.
And Greg, I was talking during the commercial, take away the one play to Deuce Staley before the half, where they had him for no gain, and he runs down the sideline, leads to a field goal.
Quick slant is dropped by James Thrash.
And their Eagle receivers just cannot get any, they just can't get any separation away. It's like they're glued. Watch Thrash, number 80. The hand in by Torrey James. Really good job. Good defense. Waited for the ball to be thrown. Stuck his left hand in there. Tough for Thrash to make the catch.
The Eagles are a dreadful 0 for 10 on third down. Landetta. Fair catch called for at the 39-yard line. Sean Landetta, 8th punt today, has gone over 50,000 career yards. Frustrating night for Donovan McNabb. 10 drives on offense, 6 3-and-outs. And on the ground, Zach Crockett. Crockett just across the 40-yard line.
A couple things about the game. You said to me during the commercial, Greg, well, we haven't talked a lot about the Eagle blitz today. And you know what? You don't recognize, or you don't even care about the other team if they're blitzing, Greg, when you're running the football. And that's what the Raiders did. They ran the ball. They made the Eagles blitz non-existent. It was not a factor in this game because physically up front, the Raiders were dominating.
Eagles have managed on defense just 1 sack, no takeaways today. On 2nd and 9, it'll be Crockett again. Hit behind the line of scrimmage and then appeared to make his way back. Barry Gardner made the stop for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 9, and the clock continues to move as the Raiders look at a 5-1 record on the flight home tonight.
And the other thing that jumps out at me, when you have Eric Allen and Charles Woodson as your corners, I think you got to take advantage of them, and the Raiders are doing that. Put some pressure on those two guys to cover the wide receivers while everybody else gets after the quarterback. And boy, is it really, I noticed it on the Sunday night game when they were playing the Indianapolis Colts, that Peyton Manning just didn't have time to look down the field and make those reads like he usually does, and it really showed today in the game.
Straight ahead is Randy Jordan. And onto the field comes Shane Leckler, who has had himself a game ball night.
He has. I'd say let's see, he's punted, 4 times. He's gotten 3 high fives from John Gruden as he walked off the field.
I'll tell you this, if he pins them inside the 15 on this kick, he's done something. Here's Brian Mitchell. Mitchell is standing at his own 15.
They're getting a lot of practice of this, running the play clock down today. It's always a good sign for your team. Means you're ahead late in the football game.
Oh, another beautiful kick by Leckler. Chases it back to the 10, 20, 30, 40, and he laterals it off to midfield, and out of bounds is number 42, Rashard Cook. So there's about a 12-yard addition to the return. 48-yard punt, and all told, a 41-yard return.
Beautiful punt, but look at the separation between Brian Mitchell and the defenders. And when you give these punt returners a little room, they know how to find and make extra yards. And need a big play, take a chance late in the game.
So Rashard Cook probably shouting out, "I'm here, I'm here, I'm here." 5:06 to play, fourth quarter. Donovan McNabb, no offense to speak of at all today against the Raider defense. pulls it down, dancing out of trouble, tracked down, and now jump pass, and it's incomplete. Well, it has not been a terrific day, but let's go all the way back to what we talked about Donovan McNabb and the way he has quick feet, and only an athletic quarterback could have escaped that. Second and 10.
Greg, that time, when a quarterback is under pressure during a game, it absolutely affects what you see down the field. Chad Lewis, for the first time all day, I thought he was wide open down the middle, but McNabb, used to the pressure, didn't even get a chance to look at it.
More time, stand and look, and incomplete, in and out of the hands of Nay Brown.
Well, that just illustrates a lot of things. Nay Brown, and we've talked to Andy Reid. He says Nay Brown has the best hands of all my wide receivers.
But the worst chest.
The worst chest, that's right. That ball had a little speed on it, and it just bounced right off of him. The Eagles 2 for 21 on third down.
Wide receivers today have just caught 3 balls for 20 yards. McNabb gonna run it. 40, slides down, has enough for the first down at the 38-yard line. 39, but it's enough for the first down. Clock continues to move as we come up on 4.5 to play.
Yeah, there's just not enough plays. As I saw the Eagles on Monday night and in a couple other games, and watching this, they just don't throw the football in rhythm enough. It's hard for the receivers and even McNabb to really get good unless you just drop back and throw it to somebody. You can't wait for them to come wide open.
The first third down the Eagles converted all day. Has time, throws a bullet, and that's complete to Nay Brown, and he pulls it in, and that's good for another first down at the 22-yard line. 18-yard pickup.
But even that play, McNabb danced around, was about ready to move, and finally spotted an open receiver.
And the Eagles will go again without a huddle here. This time he's moving Nay Brown and gives him a little note. We remind you, those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The Raiders and the Eagles. Greg Gumbel with Phil Simms and Armin Katayan. The Raiders lead at 20-3, and 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety after this game, except on the West Coast. That pass is complete to Freddie Mitchell, and Freddie Mitchell inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. And when it's just a little too late, the Eagles have been able to find some offense against a Raider defense that's playing very loose across the field.
Thank you. Listen, the Raiders have absolutely changed the way they're attacking this Eagle offense. They're okay with this. Taking some time off the clock.
On first and goal, McNabb to the 3. Reagan Upshaw with the stop. The clock continues to move. 2:45 to play.
But, McNabb's doing the right thing. Take your time.
See the tear in McNabb's jersey. It's been that kind of a day for the Philadelphia quarterback. Bruce Staley reaches from the goal line. Touchdown. With 2:28 to play in the fourth quarter, Deuce Staley registers the first touchdown of the day for the Philadelphia Eagles. David Akers will try the extra point, and it is good. And so the Eagles finally dent the end zone. Staley's 3-yard touchdown run.
Look at the score, first downs and rushing yards, passing yards. And look, the Eagles just got over about half of the yards in that last drive when the Raiders changed their defense. McNabb now 12 of 27. Rich Gannon, just another solid day by him. And we saw the defense from the Raiders that time. Greg, that was the same defense that cost them a game against the Miami Dolphins. but the circumstances are different this time. They were up 17 points instead of just leading by a couple points.
I've often wondered, and I guess in years gone by it's been called a prevent defense, but why a team would go to what had otherwise been successful all day long and then suddenly change when it counts the most.
Well, it's too hard to explain. There's circumstances that surround that, but the prevent defense is for situations like this when you just don't want the other team to get a big play quickly to score.
Onside kick coming here by the Eagles. Akers kicks. It bounds up and is grabbed by number 59, William Thomas, a linebacker, and the ex-Eagle. And so the Raiders will have the ball and a chance to run the rest of the time off of this clock, although each team with 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, Akers just did not get the football to bounce high enough in the air to give his players enough time to get down there underneath and try to get to it.
Here's Charlie Garner. Charlie Garner will be it'll be a happy ride home for him, but I guarantee he'll be a little sore in the morning.
I hope he is. That would just be right? If they run that hard and take those hits, got to be sore.
Here's Zach Crockett.
But you know what? It'd be a good story. Nothing like...
Is there such a thing?
Oh, absolutely. NFL players, they roll over in bed on Monday. When they're sore, it feels great when you win. And it's like, oh, I'm hurt when you lose.
Eagles use their second timeout to stop the clock with 2:21 to play. Andy Reid saying he wants another one, and then he'll get another clock stoppage at 2 minutes.
I know Andy Reid's going to be extremely disappointed in this game. I could just tell by, body language, whatever you want to say. When we talked to him on Friday, felt really confident in this game, but I think more so he felt confident in his team, that they were mature enough to handle winning the Monday night game against the Giants, to refocus, get ready for today's game, and that's what he said. He goes, I think we're focused enough. I got a bunch of good guys who really like to play football, and we'll be ready to play on Sunday.
Focus is one thing, but does it matter that the Raiders had the week off beforehand and the Eagles were playing on a short week?
Yeah, no, it doesn't, Greg. I don't think it's that big of a factor. It looks like the Raiders used that time off really well. They came in here hungry, eager to play, and they were just by far the better football team today.
On 2nd and 7, Crockett gets the call again, and a hole through the right side. He has a first down inside the 30-yard line. And that will pretty much take the steam out of any desire the Eagles had to stop the clock. They had hoped to hold the Raiders, stop the clock, and then this 2-minute warning would have them getting the ball back. John Gruden says, great job. Eagles about to fall to 3-3. Zach Crockett gets the call on the right side again for a couple of yards. And let's check in one more time with Jim Nantz in New York. Buffalo owner Ralph Wilson said he'd rather win that game than win the Super Bowl.
Kind of like the good name for that's the Hate Bowl. It's amazing, but emotional game.
Philadelphia, meanwhile, has used its last timeout to stop the clock with 1:53 to play. We were in San Diego last week, and all of a sudden that whole franchise has a new feeling about itself after a 1-15 year last season.
New leadership, some new coaches to help out Mike Riley, new quarterback, new running back, some more defensive players. They should be excited, and they're a good, solid football team. But I want to see, can the Raiders, are they going to continue this trend? Will they come back next week, and can they run the football with the same resolve they had this week?
Well, Zach Crockett to the 25-yard line.
And you know what?
He has now made the Oakland rushing total tonight 196 yards on the ground.
And Greg, you can do it when you put, I really like what they did. All the different running backs in here today, and Charlie Garner was the main guy, but the rest of them, when they do get that carry, John Gruden knows what he's going to get out of them. That's going to be just hard, straight-ahead running for just those really good runs that we don't, as fans, pay enough attention to, the 3- and 4-yard runs, which are so important to any offense.
Crockett again to about the 22. And we said it earlier that John Gruden loves a run for 3 yards, and a 4-yard run is outstanding. And he's made it work for him tonight. 50 seconds to play.
And I would think they would just go ahead and run the football one more time. And if they don't get the first down, then they give the Eagles one play on offense.
John Gruden and Andy Reid, coaches together in Green Bay. John Gruden, offensive coordinator here for 3 years under Ray Rhodes. Good friends, each with endless stories about the other. Zach Crockett straight ahead across the 20, and that should do it. John Gruden takes off the headset, and the Raiders put the cap on a terrific road victory, a convincing 20-10 win over the Philadelphia Eagles. Andy Reid's Eagles fall to 3-3 on the season. Once again, our final score: the Oakland Raiders 20, the Philadelphia Eagles 10.